Dear students, today we will study Ranunculaceae, which is also called as buttercup or crowfoot family, and I am Rajkumar sir. Now, first, the classification of family Ranunculaceae as per Bentham and Hooker. The class is Dicotyledone. It the characteristic features of this is venation reticulate, flower pentamerous, subclass polypetally, petals are free, series thalamiflory. The thalamus is dome shaped, flower hypogynous, ovary superior. Order Ranales. Stamens are indefinite, carpels free, or they are immersed in torus. Family Ranunculaceae, usually herbs with divided leaves, flower hemicyclic or semicyclic with one to many generally free carpels, stamens indefinite and extrose dehiscence and with extrose dehiscence. As per APG system of classification, kingdom Plantae, clade Tracheophytes, clade Angiosperms, clade Eudicots, order is Ranunculates, family Ranunculaceae, type genus is Ranunculus. We have seen the characteristic features of the family also in case of classification. To repeat it again, flowers hypogynous, calyx and corolla they are free, sepals are usually petaloid, stamens indefinite free, carpels are polycarpellary and apocarpous, fruits are aggregates. This slide shows some of the plants like Ranunculus. It has 400 species. Delphinium has 250 species. Clematis is having 200 species. Aconitum 245 species. Anemone 150 species. Thalictrum 100 species. This family, as I told you, it is also called as buttercup or crowfoot family. It contains 58 genera, 2505 species. Primarily, it is seen in temperate and colder regions of northern hemisphere. It is found at higher altitudes in mountains. In India, it is frequently seen in Himalayas. Most possess acrid and poisonous properties if it is taken internally. It is used in medicine. Aconitum extract relieves pain in affections of the nerve. Now we will study the vegetative characters. First, the habit. Plants are predominantly herbs, annuals, or perennials. A few are aquatic in nature. Sometimes they are woody climbers, for example, clematis, or they may be shrubs like peonia. Perennation takes place by means of rhizomes or by tuberous roots. The pictures are of clematis and peonia. Root is taproot or adventitious roots. Sometimes it is tuberous, for example, peonia or aconitum. Stem is mostly herbaceous, aerial and annual. Sometimes it is perennial. If it is underground rhizome like anemone. The stem may be climbing as seen in the clematis. Leaves are generally radical or alternate, rarely opposite, as in the case of clematis. They are simple, linear, entire, but usually much divided in palmate manner. The leaves are exstipulate, means that stipules are absent, rarely stipulate, as seen in thalictrum. They are having sheathing leaf bases. Special forms are seen in some aquatic species of ranunculus where the submerged leaves are dissected and in the and also seen in climbing leaves of clematis. In case of clematis, we see climbing leaves. Now we will study floral characters. First, the inflorescence. In this family, we see solitary flowers as in anemone or cymose inflorescence, sometimes racemes in case of delphinium, or the flowers are arranged in panicles as seen in clematis natans. Flowers are bracteate, clematis, or ebracteate, anemone. Bracteate flowers are also seen in delphinium. They are bisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers are seen in thalictrum. Flowers are actinomorphic, ranunculus is an example. Or they may be zygomorphic, as we see in case of delphinium. The flowers show spirally arranged stamens and carpels. They are hypogynous and pentamerous. Calyx is usually 5, 4 in case of clematis, or there are many sepals, free, one sepal or all the 5 sepals. In the case of delphinium or aquilegia, respectively, they are produced in spur. In case of aconitum, the upper sepal is hooded and thus covers a pair of narrow elongated sepals. Corolla consists of 5 or many petals. There are many petals present in case of Helleborus. They are free, often with nectaries, or represented only by nectaries in case of delphinium. Sometimes produced into spur, which enters the spur formed by sepals, as in the case of delphinium. Sometimes perianth is not differentiated, as we see in anemone and Helleborus, into sepals and petals. Androecium consists of many stamens which are free, spirally arranged. Anthers show extrose dehiscence, and the dehiscence is also longitudinal in nature. Gynoecium consists of single carpel, as in the case of consolida, or the carpels are many, free, as in the case seen in delphinium, or syncarpus, as we see in nigella. They are unilocular, multilocular in case of nigella, with single, as in the case of ranunculus, or many, as seen in delphinium ovules. They are having single or many ovules. Placentation is marginal, or it may be basal, rarely axile. Example is nigella. Ovary is superior. Style 1. Sometimes it is feathery. Clematis. Stigma is 1. Now the pollination, which is usually done by insects. In clematis and anemone, which lack nectaries, they are pollinated by pollen gathering insects. Ranunculus, delphinium, etc., they are having nectaries and they are usually pollinated by bees. Some species of thalictrum are pollinated by wind. Fruits consist of achene, as in ranunculus, follicle, delphinium, berry in actia, or rarely a capsule, as in nigella. Seeds are with small embryo. Endosperm is present. Now we will study fruit or seed dispersal. Achenes may be provided with hairs for wind dispersal. Example is clematis, or with tubercles or hooked spines for dispersal by animals. Example is ranunculus. Berries of actia are mainly dispersed by birds. Now we will study the economic importance of the family. These plants, they form very good ornamentals like Delphinium, larkspur, which is also called as larkspur, anemone, which is also called as windflower, Aquilegia, columbine, ranunculus is also called as buttercup, and Helleborus, also called as hellebore. They also produce poisons. Nearly all species produce an acrid poisonous juice. For example, Helleborus viridis, Aconitum napellus yields aconite, whereas Aconitum ferox is a source of big poison. This family also produces condiments. Seeds of Nigella stiva, which is also called as kalonji, they are used as flavoring agents. विदाउट कलौंजी यू सी आवर आम का अचार जो है बनता ही नहीं है. यू कैन नॉट प्रोड्यूस आम आचार पिकल विदाउट कलौंजी. इट इज एन indispensable ingredient of the alms pickle, mango pickle. Medicinal properties also are also seen in many plants. Roots of hydrastis are used for stomach ailments. Now, Taktajan removed this hydrastis from this family and transferred it to Hydrastis desi. Nigella stiva seeds are stimulant, carminative, and diuretic. It is also used to treat asthma, bronchitis, and rheumatism. Thymoquinone, which is extracted from the seeds of this species, have recently been found to be useful in the treatment of cancer. Pulsatilla, which is obtained from anemone pulsatilla, is used as good nerve tonic and it is also used for menstrual disorders. Now we will study some primitive characters of the family. First, the presence of trees or shrubs, presence of stipules, perennial habit, presence of simple leaves and reticulate venation, occurrence of solitary terminal flowers, bisexual flowers with conical thalamus, large number of petals, spiral arrangement of stamens and carpels, calyx and corolla are free, actinomorphic symmetry, no differentiation between calyx and corolla in some parts, for example, peonia and aquilegia, polycarpellary and apocarpous condition, polyandrous, style reduced, for example, ranunculus, or absent in some species, anatropous ovule, endospermic seeds with small embryo. These are the primitive characters of a family, of this family. Now we will study certain advanced characters. First character is herbaceous habit. Next, compound leaves as is seen in clematis. Unisexual flowers, example thalictrum. Petals fused forming a spur and shows zygomorphic symmetry. Example delphinium. Absence of stipules except thalictrum. Presence of numerous vascular bundles, anemone and thalictrum. Unisexual flowers, thalictrum example. Syncarpous condition in Aconitum and Nigella. Otherwise, you see apocarpous condition in this family. Arrangement of sepals and petals in whorls. Now, the study the